Hi guys. This I'm going to do a recap, which I'll be focusing on in future. One of the things why I'm doing this is Subramanya Swami was trained by his teacher. His teacher is Chandrasekhara Swamiji, and I think he's called elder in India. He's from Kanchipuram, and Subramanya Swami is a very prominent figure in Indian politics and indirectly guides them. Same way, Nityananda Swamiji but there is so much controversy right now with his organization and his just he leaves for meeting. So when he goes there, they had like there are like few things I told the Subramanian Swami. He says never run after the post, let the post run after you. So he just never actively look for a position in the party, and he also forbids him from joining Congress government. He always says he will be the opposite of Congress. So I went for a dinner with Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi is very good friends with Rajiv Gandhi. But then, interestingly, he is seated right next to a plastic surgeon. And so that's what he calls it. He calls it the play of the divine. So, so he introduced himself. He says, "Oh my God, you are a plastic surgeon. I'm looking for a plastic surgeon." And he says, "But I know you guys are very, very expensive." And one of my party person had an acid attack. And apparently she was hit by nitric acid and she has like a very distorted face. And that cannot be normally reset, they found, like, instead of the other acid attacks. So the plastic surgeon says, "Okay, please." The plastic surgeon says, "Oh, it's very simple. Every time we meet, you give me a recap of what's happening in India in 15 minutes so I can tell the world." So I was thinking last week, I just used the party I watched in India. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to do what Subramania Swami was asked because I really want to recap what's going on. I always, like, I'm that you guys physically able to digest this forms into, and the emotional maturity which comes is ability to tolerate anything that will involve mental validation and stuff. And I think that's where most of the people I feel are stuck between physical and psychological maturity. And the third part is the ability to sacrifice everything. These are the major themes Nityananda says. But I almost felt like I was in a paramilitary. I met him because I saw him tear up, and I felt no good man should fight this alone. Only for him, I had a organization only for that. In 2016, I kind of asked for two its own country. So he started Kailasa. So I asked for Rudradinam, which is like, space for Rudram as a home, because everything is about resetting the DNA vibrations through microfrequencies. And Rudram is the best way to reset. And the second thing I asked for is Nitya Kumbh Mela, because he said celebration of waters is the biggest festival for India, and I wanted it every day. Nitya means every day, eternal or every day, like, day to day. So, like how they say in 12 steps, one day at a time. I did ask him to do my part as a 12 step. He agreed. He called it Adi Ashramite. These are people who are just about retreats and hermitage, and the biggest teacher of that organization is Sri Ramana Maharishi. Swamiji indirectly is the descendant of that organization as well, and he has so many other connections. But out of respect, we call him Swamiji. And Priya Swarupa. So Priya means ultimate form of love, and Swarupa is beautiful. So it's like beautiful love or love beautiful, like, kind of like you can say there too. And they had a very nice video. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes long. You guys can go watch it. And they did a very good job of expressing how they felt during that organization, and they felt it was a cult and they left it. And then there was another video I watched of another guy. he calls himself Satyojata, truth teller. So, and he felt betrayed as well when he left, and he says he is of truth, but for some reason he felt validated, so he kind of feels not validated. So he says his teacher told him to, or rather, our teacher told him to like finish up with the past guilt. For some reason he chose not to, he says, and he was made to feel guilty about that, and he went into a depression, and then he recovered. He did a very nice video as well, so I'm not here to really talk about them because everybody can have their expression, but I'm going to tell the way I understood this process, so that you guys can see where I'm coming from. When I went into the organization in 2016, I was feeling little guilty. I was able to afford more things than others. So that was I was raised by a very poor man, okay, and he always felt poverty is uh, not a lack of ability to enjoy. So he'll overstretch himself, he'll borrow, and he will live beyond his means, and always somebody will bail him out. So he felt people should take responsibility for the poor, and he joined union. So he kind of used the system in a way that made it functional for him, but he was always super happy. And I'm a simple man's daughter. So my right hand always I know who he's a simple man himself, but he feels life is about taking responsibility and able to enjoy life with all sorts of luxury. So I have two different backgrounds, and that's how through my husband I learned 12 steps, and I became 12 step first to anonymous 12 step sponsor, and that's how the Ati Ashramai, Dattas, Shaktas, and of all the things that made sense to me was the Ati Ashramai, because he said, I'm going to give you, like how he says, Uttamottama Seva, where he will present 10,000 possibilities, and what you choose as your possibility is yours. So then, um, what happened in 2017 when I came back, this is a message I got, that you have to, whatever you get, you have to contribute back to the universe. And I didn't understand. See, the way the organization speaks, their English is used in a way that made very, very confusing interpretation. So I thought I felt obligated to be part of the Sangha. So then I met this girl who's a lawyer who started playing on these words and demanded that she needs to be served a certain way. So she was the only reason I even started the Sangha in Holliston. And she would be very annoyed if I say it's only for her I'm doing it. So she stepped back. She nagged me enough that finally I paid for her trip to go to Paramashiva home. So 2017, for some reason, I got into trouble with the organization because when I posted something that I was very interested in creating cryptocurrency so I can fund the people, because I was told I need to send 10 people to become part of the Sangha. And I think it is again left to interpretation. This is the way I heard it. And so I thought, oh, so to be successful, I need to manifest $100,000. That's the way I heard it. So when I posted it online, some people took offense, and I was kicked out by our teacher. And then I wrote to him. I said, I don't want to be afraid of you. He says, just it's all a leela. He says, you need to play along. And then it looked like in energy, because I'm also a clairvoyant, it looked like he um, made me go to the principal. Like I was supposed to go meet Arunagiri Yogeshwara. Like I'm like somehow in Kalabhairava's, like almost like you get um, you get called into a principal's office, something like that. So he made me go to Kalabhairava. So then I started doing the Unmatta Bhairava series, where there is a Kalabhairava for addicts. Unmatta Bhairava. Unmatta means he is like intoxicated, Bhairava of intoxication. He is a white horse. So I became associated with them, and through that union, I started doing recovery coaching, and my videos in the past would say Unmita Bhairava series and stuff. And then afterwards, um, Arunagiri Yogeshwara, took me through another path, and then eventually, I felt obligated to help this girl, which, I don't know why. And again, Swamiji says specifically, do not give money to people. But he also announced, see, the thing is, where do I draw the line between Sangha and myself? I didn't know. So he said at the year end, this generally during sermon, he said at the year end, everybody has to use the Sangha money to flush it back so we can start over again. So whatever savings I saved up for my son, I put it back and I sent this girl to India. So she goes to India and then she was not even allowed to go into the gate. So she sits there, and after Kalabhairava's vision for 3 days, she ended up leaving, even though she was allowed to attend the program. She first was denied the chance, but actually that's not the truth. So she comes back, and then I asked the people in Los Angeles and stuff, and they said I need to sue her because I need to take this to the next level. So I ended up suing her. May of 2019, I won the case, and I was allowed 50% compensation. But why I'm recapping this is completion is about what I am stuck in to go to the next level. That's the way I saw. So I felt I was cured of having to feel guilty because in spite of giving her all the money in the world, she couldn't attend it. So I cannot take responsibility when another person cannot improve in their life. And I still hold the debt and I still am paying for it. But what happened in the court system that really became very interesting is she made the court write a statement 0001. You can audit these files, these are public records. You can go look at it. And I was awarded $6,900. And she still owes me $6,000. But she made it right. No money should be taken from Nityananda organization to satisfy judgment by Vasu Gram. So this is in energy. It was written. So um, I am just putting it out there because it's left to interpretation. What she meant was whatever money I have added, she had access to it. But actually, the only money that directly went from our joint account to there was $5,000. So that's all she has access to. But she kind of went and pretended in the organization she has $9,000 given as a gift to her, which is a lie. But how the organization handles it is um, not the part of this issue. But what I found was I needed to complete that. That's a way to tell it in a nicer way. What do you mean by completion? People can ask. Completion is for us to have a past pattern we are playing in our life again and again. Because I felt so guilty that I gave always half of my money to my dad, and he used it for almost 10 years, and he never, ever, ever felt happy. And he's still in debt. And I did the same thing with my husband. He is never happy. But one thing I learned is there is a distinct poverty in India versus America. In India, they are materially poor, but they are emotionally very rich. In America, we are emotionally very poor, but materially rich. Because what material richness is availability of resources. In India, there are limited resources, but they are super happy. In America, we have plenty of resources. Emotionally, we are in an island. And so I think that is the biggest disconnect if people understand how to tolerate anybody's view and how to digest anything that comes with us and to have the ability to make sacrifice. That's what Swami is teaching now. He says, was the space of Ganesh where we are going to go to Mahakala state. And again, the Mahakali state is ability to confirm. I felt very happy when the case finished because she went, the lawyer's name is Sering Wongmo. She went and sued me again, October 2nd, for contempt of court because she felt I was still held. And so the judge asked, he says, why are you guys here again? We finalized all the payment details. And so she said essentially it has to be in writing that no money can be taken from another organization by judgment, to satisfy judgment by Mr. Brown. So I felt it, I felt really, that the demarcation allowed me 2 weeks of my brain she chewed compared to 60 months she's going to pay $100 a month. So you could see really Kali in force there. Like, for 2 weeks of chewing my brain, she's going to pay 60 months $100, and until then she's entangled, and only after this entanglement stops, she would even be able to go attend these programs. So I am saying, like, when I looked at Sarah and um, Priya Swarupa, I don't know her the non-spiritual name, and Satya Jota, who he says his regular name was Johnny, and his spiritual name he has given up. So one of the things I am seeing is they have truth in them. They really, I love the this would student relationship. So he's reestablished his goals, believing heaven. So I try to pick a situation which I assumed was poverty. Poverty is not the issue with this lawyer. The lawyer issue, her inability to take responsibility. So I feel I paid my dues, and I can move reveal to be this year after Paramashivoham, because Paramashivoham is about animation of a live presentation by master. So as whereas Shaktipat is in the breathing space, Shaktipat is without the breathing space. So all this is coming into play now. Now he's moved on to the next level. It's the Guru to feel everybody went through their first stage. Now we are moving. It's like a divine churning that's happening. And December 25, 26, 27 is ultimate culmination of this churning, where three major planets are coming into play, and people are going to definitely see our future and our cost. So, and the behavior therapy is called fibers, and the fibers are based on the land. The bird of mountain is peacock, bird of forest is owl, bird of land is dove, bird of the deserts are eagles, and bird of the waters is swan, which Swamiji is a swan, right? So the western, on the other hand, is called dove scale, which is dove, owl, peacock, eagle. So you can do Richard Step, dove personality or behavior scale. So I see Swarupa Priya, who's a peacock, who's an influencer. She worked, now she is the PTSD bird. So with PTSD, you need to skip one bird and go to the next level. So like, this whole science is going to be revealed more and more. And I wrote a textbook about it. It's called nadivaidyam.org. If you guys want to go look, this is what I'll be teaching in future. But understanding what the bird, I am personality wise ego. So I am very goal oriented, and I'm like, dominant and stuff. So you could see, and each personality has a pros and cons. So those are passive aggressive. So like, I feel if you look at it from a personality point of view, there's really nothing right or wrong, but it's all of us working together with like similar attitude about putting some social cause in order, right? That's all it is. And so that is, I was hoping for a 15-minute recap. It ended up being a 26-minute, and trying to edit it again so I can repost it. This is like, with the organization, there is a very big split, and I am telling both sides have their truth. So I'm not like taking sides. The only person who cannot take sides is who is a nurturer, nourisher. So we can be in the food industry, and you don't need to take sides, or art industry, music, you don't take sides. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what people say. That is one thing. Medically, what's happening? With the Nitya Kumbh Mela, I was revealed radiation seaweed would be for the future agrobacteria, which is going to come in. Coccidomycosis is another one we are getting, which is they feel this is going to be the future of a specific flu that's coming in from south. I forgot what is the flu called. It will give you like a fever-like symptoms, but the only way to reset it is by accepting radiation seaweed as one of the treatment and resetting the nerves and to be on a mushroomy diet. Mushroom is the immunity builder, and the other one is neem, castor, moringa as the sustainer. So that is for medical recap because somebody was talking about dengue fever. And if you go on TED, how the mushroom is going to save the world, Paul Stimets has a very nice video and you can see that. Okay, so medically, I'm going to update you guys that way. What is the third thing that is one way, like, to do, and I feel we focus on to do cryptocurrency or some sort of a currency. So I'm going to focus on bringing a store director.